I didn't catch it from the first time you said it. 2 seconds ago.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll try
hi,
this again.
I'm Lucretia.
And I'm Richard.
Hello,
Hi everybody, this is Lucretia and
and I'm Richard.
we're burning up
We're
the roads.
burning up the roads.
So, some of you have had the opportunity to meet my dad on camera, and many of you know that he died. And we got a lot of good feedback that was appreciative of my father. And so I thought I would just let you in on a bit of this day. This is Monday, and this is the day he's being buried. We're going to bury him right now. COVID-19 is not a friend to anybody, obviously, but it is messing up things like burials and birthdays and weddings. We can't even have a normal burial process with my dad. We basically have to sneak to the cemetery and wait for the mortuary counselor and the burial people to take care of that. And then once they leave, we can go over and do our thing. Of course, standing 6 feet apart. So,
We'll definitely keep to that. We will not break any rules either. Good.
it's surreal and it's sad and it's everything that anybody's experienced with the passing of a parent. He was 94 and he's going to be 95 on the 4th of July, and he was doing great. They were in a lockdown at his nursing home, and none of his illnesses were really causing him any trouble. And so this has taken me by very much surprise. I turn it to light, correct?
Yes.
So that's why I've struggled so hard this last week. He died a week ago this last Sunday. And it's really because he seemed very okay. We just saw him, it was either 2 or 3 days before he died, through his window, and we surprised him. My 2 sisters and I and Richard and little Patty Cake. And he just seemed so good. So when I was sitting there watching Box Van D a week ago, it was 10:15 or 10:17, and the phone rang, and the nurse was on the line, and she said, "Lucretia," and I said, "Yes," and she said, "This is a nurse so-and-so," and and the minute I heard her start to say the S word, "I'm sorry," I knew my dad had died. So, it's traumatic. It feels traumatic. And it's not the first death. My mother died 30 years ago. A sister died about 22 years ago. And another sister died 3 years ago, I believe it is. So, and a nephew died 2 years ago, I believe. So, I'll tell you, it does not get easier. I thought I was prepared. And it wasn't.
Something you really can't prepare for. You think you do, but it always hits you hard, no matter what. A death just slams you down.
Yep. So I'm going to turn this around. He's being buried in a a Pioneer Cemetery in the west side of our county, about 6, 7, 8 miles 10 miles from our house, out into the country. And so that's where we're going. Do you want to do that turning? It's going to have to be shut off first. It's a cemetery called Franklin Pioneer Cemetery. And my mom and my sister and many ancestors that came here in the 1800s are buried there. And that's where Richard and I have a plot. So it's a beautiful setting, and it's just it's a very quiet and calm place out in the country. I do want to say it's been helpful to interact with people on here, to go to different live streams and just zone out on what you guys are all doing. Takes me out of my own sadness. So thank you to, in the mornings we've been watching, oh my God.
News?
Coffee Talk with,
Coffee talk.
now that's really frustrating me. I love his show. Gary. And the show, his channel is Daydream About Nice Things. So I've been really happy to be able to listen to your stuff, his stuff. I don't know if you'll hear this. And New Horizons. Bob and New Horizons, I've got some questions answered. As soon as I feel like I'm through some of this feelings that I've been going through, we want to do a live stream, and I think it'll be fine. We've just got to figure out a format. Maybe just do a half an hour the first time. But lots of people are doing them, and so I'm getting to watch the things that y'all do, games and just all kinds of things. So I'm not sure what they're growing out here, but this is big farming area. And then the hills that you see straight ahead, we have to cross those and then cross another set to get to the coast. It's about 60 miles, 45 miles as a crow flies probably. We live in the house that my father built. And so I grew up there, so it's very familiar. And it's a place that I feel safe, but everywhere I look is my parents. Except for I remember, I helped a little bit nailing floor stuff, chipboard, whatever it's called, pounding nails.
Slamming nails.
How are you feeling, honey?
I don't know. It's kind of spacey.
Well, I've been awake solidly since 4 o'clock. And between 11 and 4 o'clock, I was up and down about 3 times. So, and I finally got out of bed at 5. So I am tired, and I've only had 1 cup of tea that had caffeine in it because we're out of coffee, which is ending today. I can't have any more days without coffee.
I don't remember what's on that list. I left that thing at home. Well, I had 2 things on it.
Coffee.
Coffee was one of them.
Yep, coffee was one of them.
I don't remember what else was on the list.
And then I'm going to the right, correct?
Yes.
And then to the left.
No.
No? No. To the left and then to the right.
No. Turn right. Oh, yes, you will be going left. I was thinking it was somewhere else. Okay. Right here.
There's a lot of very nice, cool farms out here.
There's still a list on there.
My little little sister just lives about a half a mile up the road to the right. And ironically, what time is Richard?
It's 12:26, 24.
Ironically, she can see the back of the cemetery. It wasn't an intentional move. Actually, I think I'm going to run. Maybe I'll run by there and see if they've left yet. She didn't.
Just go out there.
Just go out there? Okay. It's the next road to the left, correct?
Right.
I'm on the left, right?
Correct.
It's a very small gathering. It's me and my 3 sisters and husbands and a couple of nieces and nephews. More farm country.
It's pretty out here anyway.
Yep. We can't even get out of our cars. That's how strict the situation is here in Oregon. At least here in Eugene. And I believe that's all over Oregon. I know other states are doing it a little differently. They're allowing gatherings of up to 10. And then they're live streaming. But this person who has managed this service, my father bought and paid for this in cash 7 years ago.
We're
And
lucky he did. I mean, everything's gone smoothly, generally.
ha!
It made it a whole lot better than if he hadn't.
No memorial folders. My dad was a very generous man. He helped every single person in our family for the most part when they asked and needed it. Whether it be a bed or money for food or fix a car or whatever. My father was always there. This is a little town, and I use that word very loosely, called Franklin, and that is the Franklin Fire Station.
Where'd you going? It's that way.
What?
Yes, we're going to go that way.
Shit. I thought it was here.
I know what you thought. Back up.
I mean, shoot. Darn it almighty. Are you 100%?
Yes, I know where I'm going. We're going right up here. We're turning right here around the corner after we stop at this stop sign. And then we're going to continue on right.
Why do I think it's that way, I wonder?
Because we went that way to the other cemetery a while back.
Oh, okay.
Pioneer Cemetery on the hill up there, the old one. The Joneses Cemetery.
Okay. So I remember now where the tall trees are coming up on our right.
Good job.
Good job, honey. Oh, God. This is just not a simple task.
Slow up a little. There's a flag flying there.
We forgot his flag.
Should have one, right? It didn't matter which one we used. Ours or his.